48 nations, 48 squads, the biggest World Cup in history, and yet right now, as teams fly into the USA, Canada, and Mexico, some of the most electric footballers alive are sitting at home. Not injured, not suspended, just gone, erased. This is the 2026 World Cup, a tournament so bloated with teams they literally had to invent new stadiums and still couldn't find room for a man with 89 international goals. Still couldn't find room for one of the best goalkeepers on the planet. Still couldn't find room for an ACL victim who was destined to be the tournament's breakout star. Think about it. This year, 48 countries qualified. 4 years ago, only 32 did. And somehow, the heartbreak list is longer. The talent left behind is more jaw-dropping than ever. Today, we're building the team that should be there but isn't. 11 starters. One devastating squad. The Ghost XI of World Cup 2026. And trust me, by the end of this, you're going to be genuinely furious about what this tournament is missing. 1. Gianluigi Donnarumma, Italy. Start in goal. And there's only one man. Gianluigi Donnarumma, 27 years old, starting goalkeeper at Manchester City, widely considered the best goalkeeper in the world right now, has never played a single minute at a World Cup. Not one, let that land. Italy lost on penalties to Bosnia and Herzegovina in the European playoffs. That's it. 3 World Cups in a row gone. The Azzurri have now become the first-ever former world champions to miss 3 consecutive tournaments. The last time Italy graced a World Cup was 2014, when they crashed out in the group stage in Brazil. Donnarumma had nothing to do with any of it. He stood in goal and did everything right. And still, the curtain came down. The Italian media called it La maledizione del mondiale, the World Cup curse. Somewhere Buffon must be watching with his head in his hands. 2. Dejan Kulusevski, Sweden. Right back into our team goes Dejan Kulusevski. This season at Tottenham Hotspur, Kulusevski was an absolute revelation, scoring 10 goals and driving his team forward with relentless power. He was undeniably one of the most consistent, dangerous wide players in the Premier League. And yet, he is completely missing from this tournament. Sweden, a proud footballing nation with a rich World Cup history, including a legendary final appearance, collapsed in the European playoffs. Just like that, the Swedish giants fell silent. A country that belongs on the world stage couldn't find a way into a massive 48-team tournament. Kulusevski is right in his prime window, playing the best football of his life. He might get another shot in the future. But right now, one of the Premier League's most electric creators is packing his bags for a long, empty summer. 3. Alessandro Bastoni, Italy. The heart of Italy's defense, Alessandro Bastoni, joins Donnarumma in footballing exile. The Inter Milan and Italian national team cornerstone is one of the best ball-playing defenders in Europe. Clean under pressure, composed in possession, Inter's defensive spine, and he'll watch the World Cup from his sofa, the same sofa as Sandro Tonali and Federico Dimarco and Riccardo Calafiori. Italy didn't just miss the World Cup, they sent an entire generation of genuinely elite talent home. It's not a dip, it's a catastrophe. 4. Federico Dimarco, Italy. Federico Dimarco, another Italian, another crime. The Inter Milan fullback had one of the best seasons in Europe last year, dynamic going forward, dependable in defense, deadly from set pieces. He's been an absolute fixture in the Azzurri setup. But Italy's shocking failure to even progress past the European group stages doesn't care about your club form. It doesn't care about anything. 5 Italians in this squad. 5 world-class talents out of the World Cup. That alone tells you everything about the monumental scale of what that proud footballing nation has lost. 5 Sandro Tonali, Italy. He was supposed to be Italy's engine, the heartbeat of the midfield. Sandro Tonali, playing his club football at Newcastle United, is one of the most physical, technically gifted midfielders in the Premier League. He presses like a machine, he passes like an artist, and yet here we are. Same story. Italy's failure at the playoff stage didn't just deny one great player. It wiped out an entire spine of a potentially devastating squad. Donnarumma, Bastoni, Dimarco, Tonali. You could genuinely build a semi-final contender from just the players Italy left behind. 6 Xavi Simons, Netherlands. Now this one hits differently, because it's not about a nation failing. This one is just brutal, ugly, unfair football fate. Xavi Simons, 23 years old, already 34 caps for the Netherlands. Already one of the most exciting young midfielders in world football. He was supposed to be one of the faces of this tournament, his second World Cup, his coming-of-age moment on the biggest stage. And then playing for Tottenham Hotspur in a Premier League game against Wolverhampton in April, his knee buckled. Anterior cruciate ligament. Torn, season over, World Cup over. Ronald Koeman didn't just lose a player. He lost his entire creative plan. The Dutch midfield was built around Simons. That fast, direct, incisive style gone in one bad landing on a Tuesday in North London. 7. Dominik Szoboszlai, Hungary. Dominik Szoboszlai is Hungary's elite captain and the beating heart of Liverpool's midfield. His energy, his engine. The man who runs more ground than almost anyone in the Premier League. Hungary failed to qualify from their group. A tight, punishing European campaign, and Szoboszlai's dream of his first World Cup stayed exactly that. A dream. He's 24. He's one of the most dynamic box-to-box midfielders in Europe. And he'll be at home while players he regularly outperforms go head-to-head in North America. That's football. Cold, mechanical, indifferent football. 8. Khvicha Kvaratskhelia, Georgia. Remember 2024. Remember Georgia at the Euros, that glorious, chaotic, beautiful Georgian team that shocked the world by beating Portugal and fighting fearlessly against Spain in the round of 16. And at the heart of it, the most electric winger in European football that summer. Khvicha Kvaratskhelia. Georgia fell short in a brutal qualifying group that included Spain and Turkey. No path through, no miracle this time. And so the PSG winger, who has terrorized the best defenses in the Champions League, won't get his chance to terrorize the world this summer. The man is genuinely electric, the kind of player who turns 20 minutes of nothing into a moment that lives on YouTube forever. And he's watching from Paris. 9. Victor Osimhen, Nigeria. Victor Osimhen, the most lethal center-forward in African football, the man who single-handedly kept Nigeria's campaign alive before it ultimately crumbled. Nigeria lost in the playoff to the Democratic Republic of Congo, and with that, the Super Eagles World Cup dreams died. Osimhen has been chasing a World Cup stage his entire career. Powerful, rapid, clinical. The kind of number 9 teams build game plans around. Nigeria had him, they had Ademola Lookman beside him, and they still couldn't get it done. That's how brutal qualifying is. He is 27. Prime years, elite form, and nowhere to go. 10. Robert Lewandowski, Poland. This one might be the most painful story of all. Robert Lewandowski, 37 years old, 165 international appearances, 89 international goals, nearly twice as many as any other Polish player in history. Poland fell to Sweden in the European playoff, lost 3-2 at the Strawberry Arena in Stockholm. And in the immediate aftermath, Lewandowski sat there in front of reporters and quietly hinted this might be the end. His international career, done. He'd played at 2 World Cups. His best result was the round of 16 in Qatar 2022. A man of this magnitude, this dominance, this longevity, deserved at least one more shot at something bigger. But football doesn't deal in what's deserved. When he walked off that pitch in Stockholm, it might have been the last time Robert Lewandowski ever played for Poland. That hit differently. 11. Rodrygo, Brazil. Brazil are at the World Cup. Carlo Ancelotti is in the dugout. And yet one of their most important forwards, Rodrygo, won't be there. A serious knee injury ruled him out of the entire summer, robbing both player and nation of an electric partnership that could have done real damage in North America. Brazil's attacking depth got hit hard by injuries this cycle. Estevão also gone. Ancelotti had to completely reimagine his frontline. And Rodrygo, composed, technically stunning, the kind of player who looks like he's jogging but somehow gets everywhere, will watch from Madrid while someone else fills his shirt. He's 25, he'll have more chances, but 2026 was supposed to be his. So there it is. The ghost squad of World Cup 2026. Donnarumma in goal, Mbeumo and Dimarco at fullback, Bastoni commanding the defense, Tonali, Simons, and Szoboszlai in midfield, Khvicha and Osimhen on the wings. Lewandowski and Rodrygo up top. That is a team that could beat almost anyone at this World Cup. And they won't even be there. That's football, no sentiment, no fairness. Just results, injuries, and the brutal reality of a sport where the best don't always make it to the biggest stage. This tournament will be spectacular. But every time a moment goes begging, every time there's a gap in midfield that a certain Dutch 23-year-old would have filled, every time a striker misses the kind of chance a Polish legend would have buried in his sleep, you'll feel it. The ghost squad will be haunting every game. If this video hit you the way it hit me writing it, come join the conversation below. Drop your name in the comments. Who did we miss? Who's the biggest robbery on this list? Is it Lewandowski saying goodbye to international football on a cold Stockholm night? Is it Simon's knee giving way on a Tuesday in London? Is it an entire Italian generation watching from home for the third consecutive time? Tell me, I want to know. And if you haven't subscribed to Football Rogue yet, do it right now. This is where the stories live that no one else is telling, the dark side of the beautiful game, the drama behind the drama. Hit subscribe, hit the bell, and never miss another Rogue football story again.